Hails the Luciferian outlaw Lance Legion Miasmus here once again. And, well, I said I'd do a video from New Orleans. Well, here I am, outside right now. Just a quick video, maybe a quick comment or two, following up the last video I did. Well, I've got a few minutes here waiting on something and somebody. But the idea of the last video is there is no point anymore in looking at things, not that I ever did, from a political standpoint. All it is one group seeking dominance over others, using the illusion of objective moral values and duties to do so, and they use this illusion of objective moral values and duties to guilt trip people, gaslight them, and brainwash them into thinking they have a duty to do anything. You are under no moral obligation to care about anyone or anything, most especially those that don't care about you. Like Christopher Hitchens even said, even though he wasn't any kind of nihilist, obviously, but he did say, you know, don't live for others any more than you would expect others to live for you. Well, that's the idea. You know, that's a very nihilistic and neo-nihilistic way of thinking, at the very least. Power nihilist. So, you know, and the individual versus the collective, just, I actually ran across a quote, well, someone pointed it out to me. It's by, it's someone I follow on YouTube, someone I've actually followed for about 10 years now, but I mostly watch this individual for his cinema review videos. Like, he does some reviews of some awesome fucking, like, you know, 80s action movies, even the cheesy ones. And of course he has a Metal Mythos series, which is very well researched, very good, very put together. Well, none other than Razorfest, the Ragerholic. And he, there was some quote, I think it's actually from one of his videos, but someone pointed out a tweet that he made, and it was something like, I don't remember it word for word, obviously, but it was like, if the right thinks they can fight left-wing collectivism with right-wing collectivism, they're being naive because the left are better at it than they are. You know, something along those lines. And that's just the truth. I don't mean collectivization. Sure, we need each other for things and all that. You know, as an individualist, you can't do everything on your own. Of course not. But that is what I would call, and I've used the term before, individualist socialism. You know, it's proper socialism. Like, some guy's good at this, another person's good at that, you know, and that's why I foresee, like even Anton LaVey predicted, a return to the barter system at some point. So, you know, when everything collapses and all that. But trying to collectivize naively, and I said it in the last video, okay, you say you're stronger in numbers. What good are your numbers if you have not the will? You could have 1 trillion people on your side, but if you don't have the will, then you're going to stick by this nonsense of my principles and my honor and all this bullshit. No, it's not going to work. Besides, like I've said, I've always just wanted to be left the hell alone. Don't tread on me and I won't tread on you. That's what I've always done, always. You know, I never considered myself right or left-wing, conservative or liberal. I was always a pragmatist. And hell, go look at my Mercenary nihilism video. That's what I would define myself as. I am a fucking mercenary of the nihilist persuasion. whatever means I need to achieve my own ends, I will use, and I eschew everything else. I empathize with all beliefs, yet at the same time, I cast aside all beliefs. Yep. Believe in nothing, you know, and if something doesn't work for you, cast it aside. If it works for you, use it until it no longer does work for you. And that's the idea, just getting away from all this. And, you know, both sides of the political spectrum are cowards, you know, in their different ways. One side is very cowardly in a very open way. The other side is cowardly because they focus on all these bullshit issues without actually trying to fix anything. All these, well, some people call them wedge issues. I would simply just call them non sequiturs. So, you know, America really chose this future, and whatever happens, happens. They chose this path, rather. Can't really say there is going to be a future yet. You don't know yet, do you? They chose this path, though, and whatever happens, happens. You know, I mean, that's really all there is to it. I have no side in the matter other than my own. Like Deicide in the song Deicide, no Lord shall stand before myself. I shall not kneel before any Lord. Luciferian outlaw does not kneel. A Luciferian in general does not kneel, except for their own selfish desire. Or if you just prefer the term individual, there you go. So that's really it. You know, that's the sensible thing to do. And this, you know, saying you need to organize with people and all this, I just cast doubt, because individuals have a lot of power because they're unpredictable to the collective a lot of times. You know, the collective only depends on unity, you know, and that's why they try so desperately to control thoughts and actions. It ends badly for a lot of people, probably for a long time. And even though those that were there at the beginning of such atrocities may not see those atrocities avenged, or the vengeance, they may not live to see the vengeance against those atrocities. Because remember, one of my mottos is vengeance upon the just and the unjust alike. So those that were there at the beginning might not have been able to see it, or might not live to see it. In other words, the tyrants and mobocracy does a lot of damage, but it always ends up dissolving at some point. I mean, you just cannot control people. And like, I'm gonna paraphrase Max Stirner since I don't have the quote in front of me, but the individual is the death of every generality, every tie, every fetter, and every church, every state, every collective, every mob has sunk with the individual. It's almost like a different, he put it differently than that, but I'm paraphrasing it, but he's basically saying, you know, it's kind of like the old saying, you know, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. In this case, though, the link that breaks isn't the weak one, it's the strong one, because you're breaking away from mobocratic conformism. And, you know, I mean, a lot of folks, you know, like I said, don't agree with this. This is a very contentious point of view. I mean, my nihilism, then neo-nihilism, then power nihilism, then mercenary nihilism, then Luciferian nihilism. This is a very contentious point of view. I mean, but if you've read the likes of Stirner, Nietzsche, Redbeard, LaVey, David Hume, Benjamin de Cassiers, you will know what I'm talking about. See, those probably my main inspirations, and Peter Shostet H, of course, like I've said, you know, just thinkers that are, you know, outside, really outside the box. I mean, so, you know, that was kind of the point of that whole video. You know, I don't like cowardice. You have to be smart as well, though. And the point you get fed up with the whole thing. It's like then when you say, oh, you think you're above it all and you're going to stay out of, you know, sociopolitics and all that. Well, the individual, in an Nietzschean sense, Ubermensch is above it all, yes. Because, as Peter Shostet H said, one can only strive to see the show from above. That's exactly what the fuck a neo-nihilist does in times like this. It's what a mercenary nihilist does. It's what a Luciferian does. It's what a sinisterist does. So, you know, that's the idea. You know, like I was saying, it's a very contentious point of view. But, you know, what I started to say was people, you know, will say that, like, well, how can you not care about something that affects lots of people? It only affects you because you get in this mental state, you are gaslighted by others, and then you gaslight yourself. And to thinking, you know, it's about, you know, I gotta do this, you know, and all that. It's a manipulation. The right are very manipulative, just like the left are. Very manipulative. It is to destroy your own individual will and strength. And all partisan politics does is cloud your judgment. It clouds your judgment, and it clouds any larger philosophical core that you may be trying to get out there or convey. So, you know, that's pretty much it, and why I've chosen to stay away from such nonsense. It's unpopular opinion, but whatever. I mean, you know the material on this channel. For those of you that do know what kind of topics this channel covers on YouTube, and you know, like my upcoming book will, you know, you read that, and obviously I have contentious points of view, and that will be controversial as well. So, I mean, when you are truly, like, I don't know, we'll use the term lone wolf, perhaps, you know, that's a good term for it, but true sinister individualist just doesn't really give a damn. You know, so, I mean, that's all I think there is to it. I just wanted to follow that up. Yeah, I think I see what I'm waiting on right now. So I just wanted to follow that up, you know. Yeah, I hope that makes sense, and I'm sure it does, to the worthy and those worth their salt, philosophically, mentally, and dare I say, maybe even spiritually. Of course it makes sense to you. You know, those of a sinister individualist, neo-nihilist persuasion. Be thou a mercenary nihilist. Be not the cowering conformist. So do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the Luciferian outlaw. Into dark triumph ride.